Morning, everybody. I'm a little stuffy this morning. I might need some more coffee soon, but I got something exciting today. Um, Before we get going, though, let me share this out on Discord and everything else, and then we're going to come back and get going here. I need to make sure I get this out on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. And now that we're officially out on all the places, all right. So for those of you who don't know, Nathan Napalm, the Nathan Napalm on YouTube and beyond, has this Choose Your Own Adventure D&D campaign. He covered the entire module of the Lost Mines of Phandelver, and he's been working on this for the past few months. His wife quit her day job to work on this with him. The kids helped. It's all puppets, hand puppets, sock puppets, all these puppets that are made from scratch, and it's a choose your own adventure style. Now, I have had a preview of this in the past, and I can't wait to dive in. Um, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I know my brother couldn't wait. It came out last night, and as soon as we wrapped up Minecraft with my nephew, my brother put him to bed and immediately went and started playing this. So I'm really eager to sink my teeth into it. I woke up this morning refreshed. I've got a few hours before I need to start getting any day job stuff done, and I said, you know what? Normally I've been streaming Final Fantasy 14, and then most recently I got into Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. But I was like, you know what, today I'm gonna take a break for that because I really, A, I want to check this out. B, I want to support my friend in his effort and help this thing blow up and go big. So the first thing you need to do is you need to check this out. So you can go over to YouTube and find it at the Nathan Napalm on YouTube, youtube.com/the Nathan Napalm, and you can find this. It's over 700 videos long. So just prepare yourself. This is going to be something that takes you probably multiple days unless you have nothing else to do and you could just sit down and do it over the course of a day or two. It's going to take me probably, I would estimate a week or so to go through this because maybe more because I got a lot of other things that I do, but I am going to be going through this religiously over the course of September. So I'm going to sit down with my coffee and we're going to dive in. I'm going to play this video and we're going to get right to it. So let's get going, everybody.
This isn't just a video. This is a game where at the end of each video you pick what to do next, creating your own adventure in this Dungeons & Dragons universe. Within over 700 different options, please share this video on forums, your Discord, and social media so that others can unlock the adventures and I can DM thousands of people. Now, let's begin. In the city of Neverwinter, your group, the human paladin Sorensen, the elf cleric Winter, the human wizard Drac, and the halfling rogue Minus are gathered around a table at a local pub with their dwarf acquaintance and friend Gundren Rockseeker. He has with him a stout human warrior, and he seems rather excited about something. Gundren looks them over and says, "My friends, I need ye to bring me supplies to the frontier town of Phandalin. She be a couple days travel to the southeast." He then leans in close to the paladin Sorensen. "Me brothers and I are onto something big, I tell ye." The wizard Drac asks, "What sort of big thing are you Rockseekers onto?" Gundren laughs. "I cannae be sharing," he says, "but I'll be a-paying ye lads 10 gold pieces to bring me wagon to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandalin." Outside the pub and inn, Gundren and warrior Sildar are atop their horses. "We will be riding ahead of ye. We need to take care of some business." And with that, they ride off along the trail toward Phandalin. At their pace, they will probably arrive in 2 days' time. With the wagon loaded and the mission
Look at
set,
that wagon!
the group begins their journey to Phandalin,
The
riding at a
horse!
short gallop's pace
Oh my God.
along the trail. They
I feel like a
travel for a
5-year-old
full
kid.
day. On the second day, the cleric leans over to the paladin and says, "There are bandits and outlaws in this area. We should be alert." The adventurers continued on the tri-board trail for about
there's a
half
dead
day.
horse.
When they come around a bend in the trail, they notice a dead horse in front of them, black feathered arrows sticking from its fresh
Oh,
corpse.
the blood effects are
woods
great.
press close to the trail here. Now, adventurers, what will you do?
What will
Since
you
this is a
do?
choose your own adventure story, you decide what happens next at the end of each video, creating your own adventure in this Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Please make your decision, and remember you can always play this over and over again. Enjoy!
All right, before we choose, I know there was a comment over here on because Nathan's over in chat, man. Epic, dude. All right, we're gonna get back to this here because I don't want to get too sidetracked. All right, what do we want to do here, ladies and gentlemen? Um, I am. So my rogue, theoretically, the rogue can sneak forward, look for things. If I had a ranger, we would be able to inspect the horse. I'm gonna pull the wagon back and let the rogue scout ahead.
The paladin Sorensen shouts, "Something is afoot!" and he pulls the wagon back away from the horrific scene of the dead horses on the trail. The rogue Minos pulls out his daggers and says, "I will scout ahead. There is the foul stench of goblin in the air." As the rogue is stealthily moving through the brush, he notices a goblin. He is
Uh-oh.
unaware of Minos's presence and appears to be scratching his ugly goblin head. Minos the rogue looks up and notices another goblin high atop the cliff above the dead horses surveying the
No.
land. He
Oh.
must have not noticed their wagon, but killing one could alert the other. What will you have the rogue Minos do? The choice is
Oh.
yours. Backstab the goblin and then stealth to the one on the cliff?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
sneak back to the group to form a plan? Please make your decision.
Oh man. All right, so playing it safe would be to sneak back to the group and form a plan. Well, I'm assuming these are all level 1 characters, right? And I don't know what level the goblins are. I would assume low level. There's only 2 of them. I still don't feel. I feel like it's too risky to stab the goblin and then sneak to the one on the cliff because there's too many chances. Like if I have a bad roll, uh, Nathan says they're all level 1. Perfect. There's too many chances for this to go wrong because if I stab him in the back and I don't kill him in the first blow, he can scream and alert the other one. He might call for more help. Um, yeah, I'm gonna sneak back to the group and form a plan.
Minos sneaks his way back to the group and alerts them to the goblin presence. Sorensen the paladin asks Minos to sneak up on the cliff to dispatch the ranged goblin. They will wait until they see the goblin down and then charge the goblin in the forest. Minos very carefully makes his way up the cliff,
Look at him!
staying out of sight of the goblin.
That dagger
the
is
rest
so
of the party
cool.
is out of view, watching, hearts pumping in their little puppet chests.
Yeah,
They
little
can just
puppet
make out Minos
chest.
popping into view behind the goblin with a quick
Oh!
backstab. The goblin
Snap!
falls to a heap of death. Minos disappears into the shadows.
Whoosh.
The paladin Sorensen looks to his comrades and says, "Now for the other one." They dart into the forest, making much more noise than Minos had, even though they were trying to be just as stealthy. The goblin spins in fear as he sees the 3 charging toward him. He is caught in shock and taken by surprise as the paladin Sorensen descends upon him. And in a flash of his blade, the goblin is no more.
Victory!
Minos approaches into the forest and asks, "What should we do now?
Oh,
Should you continue to vandal on the wagon or investigate the area
Investigate
further?
the area
The
further.
choice is up to you. Please."
Investigate the area further for sure. I don't even need to. Yeah, we're not even. There's no choice. That's the choice.
They decide to investigate the area further, and it doesn't take long before Minos catches scent of goblin on a trail leading into the woods. Meanwhile, the wizard notices an empty map case on the dead horse. The paladin nor the cleric find anything of value or interesting. Minos suggests they should investigate the path that smells of goblin. He is sure that the goblins must have taken Gundren down this way. The paladin and cleric just want to continue the trip to Phandelver. What do you want to do?
Follow the goblin trail.
They follow the trail, with Minos the rogue leading the way, staying ever vigilant. One little halfling ear perked up for the sound of anything astray. They finally come across a large cave in a hillside, miles from the ambush site. They can hear water running inside
Jesus,
the cavern,
they went a long
and
way.
a dry, narrow path leads into the mouth of the cavern. Minos confirms to everyone that this is indeed going to have goblins inside, but could definitely lead them to answers about what the goblins are up to. After a brief conversation, they decide to enter the cave. Crossing a bit of ground to get there, arrows plunge into the earth before them from their east, and they hear the chatter of goblins. At this moment, they realize that partially hidden from their view to the east is a goblin outpost
Dude, epic
with
sound
3
effects.
goblins, all bows drawn.
Uh-oh.
What will you do? You could make a run for the cavern entrance, or take cover and fight the goblins, or you could charge the goblins. The choice is up to you.
All right, I need to think about this for a minute. Nathan says future playthroughs are all the side quests are all in Phandelver. Okay, perfect. Good to know. Thank you, sir. Okay. I. All right, so there's 3 goblins with bows. They're all level 1, but we're all level 1 too. There's 4 of us, 3 of them. Um, Charging is probably not the best option because they've got opportunity on us, so they'd be able to shoot us as we're charging. Taking cover and fighting them might be a good option. We could make a run for the cave entrance, but we haven't had a chance to look for traps or anything else. We don't know what could be in the cave. We could be running right into, um, you know, 20 other goblins on the inside. I think we should probably take cover and fight the goblins.
They find cover the best they can to shield themselves from the onslaught of arrows coming from the goblin lookout. The rogue sees an opportunity to sneak out of sight and takes it.
Perfect.
Creeping along the rocks, he tries to get closer to the goblins.
He
to take
tries.
them
That's
out.
not a good
Meanwhile,
word.
the cleric casts Shield of Faith on the paladin.
Shield of
and he
Faith?
feels bolstered enough to keep the attention of the goblins while the rogue attempts to sneak around.
Okay.
Deflecting the arrows with his sword is working, and the wizard Drac decides to cast hideous laughter on
Do it.
one of the goblins.
Do it.
It is barely in range of the spell, and one of the goblins suddenly finds everything hilarious. He begins laughing hysterically and is no longer able to stand in his fits of laughter.
Perfect.
And falls from the lookout.
Oh!
The fall is to his
Oh!
death. The arrows have slowed, and the paladin and cleric get back in cover just in time for the rogue to slash
Stab,
the goblin.
stab,
But the
stab.
attack wasn't fatal.
Uh-oh.
Instead, the goblin hobbles a few feet and then falls to the ground.
So as long as he
dead.
doesn't
It
cry out
appears
for
there
help.
must have been a poison on Minus's blade. The air is still, and the group realizes they are safe. It doesn't appear any creatures on the inside of the cave were alerted, so they proceed inside. It is dark
Okay.
and smells of foul, feral urine inside, of something wilder than goblin, and they can hear the jingling of chains and deep growls from an area to the right. Up
Uh-oh.
ahead is another passageway, going deeper into the cavern. What will you do?
Man, caves are scary, and I don't know that we're high enough level enough to do this. All right, hold on. this is dude, this is epic, man. All right. Man. So to the right was the growls and cries and everything, I think is what he said. I'm gonna back up just a second.
Going deeper into from an feral urine inside, of something wilder than goblin, and they can hear the jingling of chains and
Something wilder than goblin. All right, so there's something in this cave. They hear the jingling
deep
of
growls from an area to the right.
chains and growls to the right. So something is probably
Up ahead is
chained up.
another passageway, going deeper into the cavern.
Straight ahead is
what
deeper.
Will you do?
I want him to. No, I'm not charging to the right at all. No, we're not charging. I'm gonna scout to the right and see what that creature is.
The rogue Minus sneaks off to the right toward the sounds of the chains rattling. It is dark, but he makes out 2 wolves chained to the ground.
Uh-oh, they're gonna
They
start
do not
barking.
seem to be able to reach him, and they definitely notice the smell of the group nearby.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are very agitated, barking and snarling. Minus notices that the cavern goes back further and sees another passageway, but it is too dark to know for sure where it leads. They couldn't possibly get there, though, without taking care of these ravenous wolves first, could they? What should they do? The choice is up to you. Please make your decision
Oh
now.
man. Go back to the group, form a plan. That's always the best choice. Always the best choice. Back to the group, form a plan.
Minus returns to the group and tells them about the wolves chained, and the passageway going up he saw behind them. The wizard wants the rogue to see what is up ahead, but the cleric says if they do that, then they may not get to explore what is beyond the wolves. She says they could all 4 easily take out 2 wolves, but if they don't do it now, their chains could break at any time with how roused they are. The paladin says he thinks either is a fine plan at this point, so the choice is yours. Should they go deal with the wolves and explore further in that direction, or abandon that area and scout the passageway straight ahead? The choice is yours.
All right,
Please make
so
your decision now.
I'll tell you this much. Dude, that's awesome, Nathan. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Simmerg play it because I know he's never done tabletop before, so I'm gonna be interested to see how he deals with it. Um, so here's the thing that I think. The wolves are there. They're obviously guarding something. It could either be a secret passage, like an escape passage, or it could be a passage leading to like a treasure chamber. It could be an entry to a bigger goblin encampment. I feel like I'm in league with the cleric here. I feel like the four of us should be able to deal with the wolves. They're chained up, right? I mean, yeah, they could break free, but they're chained up. I'm gonna risk it, and we're gonna deal with the wolves to the right.
They decide to go deal with the wolves to the east, and working together, Midas starts slashing at one of the wolves, but it starts lashing back at him.
Uh-oh.
The wizard Drac uses Flame Touch to catch the wolf on fire, and it
Oh!
howls out in agony as it is burned alive.
Oh my
Sorensen is
goodness.
bitten by another wolf and
Uh-oh.
smashes it atop the head. It falls to the ground hurt, and then Wizard charges in and bashes its head in, finishing it off.
Okay.
With the wolves all defeated, they head deeper into the room where the passageway leads up. They climb to the top and then stop when they hear voices.
Yeah.
It is the sound of a voice with authority, and
Uh-oh.
it sounds agitated,
Uh-oh.
saying, I, Clarg, must take over Phandelver, and you and your goblins are to help Clarg. Then a goblin
Ooh.
voice replies, We goblins work for King Groll, not Clarg. We goblins restless, more us than you. Then there is the sound of something shattering, and the Urk, as the first one to talk, grabs the goblin by the throat from the sound of it. Defy Clarg, and it will take every one of your goblin horde to overthrow me. It sounds as if the booming voice belongs to the leader of the Cragmaw group, and that they all work for this King Groll. Also, it appears that there is some resentment between the goblins and this Clarg. Maybe this could be used to your advantage. What will you do? Make your decision now.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. We only heard Clark and the Goblin. Clark could have backup. The goblins, there could be more than one goblin waiting. Like, we haven't seen what's in there yet. I feel like rushing for an advantage attack without knowing, without scouting. Hmm. Hmm. So the smart move would be to hide in the hole until things calm down. I think that's what we're gonna do.
They decide to hide in the hole and out of sight and wait for things to calm down. Goblins are searching all about but do not see you or your group hiding in this natural chimney type area. Soon they hear the goblins arguing about the intruders must have left and they all return to their positions. It appears you are no longer being chased by the goblin. Now you have a true advantage against Clarg and the goblin in the next room. They're still fighting amongst themselves. The goblin is now taking swings at
Okay,
Clarg.
Clarg is
They are so involved
badass.
in their own squabbling that they could be taken by surprise. What will you do?
Oh, we're
Make your
totally.
decision
No, we're
now.
attacking. I mean, that was the whole. Oh man. Oh, drop in and help Goblin or help Clark. So I feel like if we help, Clark looks more powerful than the Goblin, and I feel like helping the Goblin kill Clark might be the smartest move here, um, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, sort of thing. And then we can deal with the goblin after we deal with Clark, unless he calls for help, because there are definitely other goblins in the area, which is why I wanted to wait and scout out in the first place. Alright, I apologize for my sniffles this morning. I woke up sniffly for some reason. Alright, we're going to drop in and help the goblin.
They decide to jump down and help the goblin in hopes that they can take down the huge bugbear Clarg. The cleric and rogue come crashing down on Clarg, knocking him away from the goblin. And then the wizard and paladin come directly after, landing in front of him. The paladin Sorensen is in the front and is preparing for Clarg to retaliate. The goblin behind them seems confused and they notice for the first time that there is another creature in the room.
Uh-oh.
A wolf snarling and barking
Shit.
at them, and he is now between them and Clarg as if defending him. This must be his pet, and it looks poised to attack. The goblin turns and runs away,
No!
squealing, free from Clark's grasp.
No!
Clark shakes himself off and then says,
You dare to oppose Clark in his own chambers?
he pulls out his axe
Oh, is
and
this
then
gonna be a
yells,
party wipe?
Ripper, eat the flesh from their bones.
No!
The Wolf Ripper begins charging at the Paladin Sorensen. What should you do?
This-
This is your first major boss fight encounter. The choices will get more difficult from here. Make your decision now.
Oh, in slow motion and everything. Oh my god. That's so epic, the slow motion. Alright, hang on. I gotta pause and think about this for a minute. Prepare cure wounds. Either one of these is a good decision. I'm gonna defend against the incoming attack. He hasn't taken damage yet, so I don't know that I need to prepare wounds.
The wolf crashes into Sorensen, but he is prepared and stands his ground. The wolf is on him, biting at him, and he shoves him away with all of his might. Clark
Nice.
puts his axe high in the air and then charges toward the cleric Winter and the rogue Minus. He smashes into Minus, sending him flying into a wall. It knocks the breath out of him, and Winter goes for Clark with her mace, but Clark blocks with his axe,
No.
and they are locked together. The wolf Ripper has turned his attention to the wizard Drac.
No.
Sorensen stands between the wolf and Drac, ready to defend, but the cleric Winter is now alone, locked with Clark. Minus is prone and will need a moment to rejoin the fray. What should you do next?
I'm gonna lose somebody.
The choice is yours.
Defend the wizard. The cleric can handle a couple of hits. Defend the wizard. Wizard has way less hit points.
The paladin uppercuts the wolf, killing it instantly.
Yeah!
This allows a moment for Drac to cast Witch Bolt on Clark, knocking him off of Winter. About this time, the rogue Minus has his breath and jumps behind Clark, slicing his backside.
Yeah!
Clark falls to the cavern floor dead. He has been defeated. Just about that time, a goblin walks into the room and sees Clark dead. "Follow me," he says, and they follow the goblin deeper into the cavern where they find Sildar.
I'm
in a
okay,
cave.
Biz. I'm okay,
The same
Chris.
Sildar they had met back in Neverwinter with Gundren. "You help goblins get rid of Clark, so you can have your human." They exit the cavern and Sildar tells them he must get to Phandelver immediately, that he is gravely injured. You help him get to Phandelver so that he can recover. Once he is feeling better after a few days, he tells you that you must go to Cragmaw Castle. Gundren is being held there. King Groll is the master of the castle, and Sildar believes he is behind all of this mess. He gives you directions to get there, but there are two paths you could take. You could take the roads, but Sildar warns it will probably have King Groll's bugbears patrolling it. Or you could cut through the forests, but who knows what manner of creatures you might find there. The choice is yours.
Dude, my wife just came in because I'm over here shouting and screaming. She's like, "Are you okay?" Oh, this is great, man. All right, that was a lot of information to unpack in this video we just watched. So I'm gonna go back real quick and I want to listen to this again. Hold on, because there's a lot to unpack after the goblin came in.
"Follow me," he says, and they follow the goblin deeper into
I
the
gotta take
cavern where they
notes.
find Sildar in a cage. The same Sildar they had met back in Neverwinter with Gundren. "You help goblins get rid of Clark,
Sildar.
so you can have your human." They exit the cavern and Sildar tells them he must get to Phandelver immediately, that he is gravely injured. You help him get to Phandelver so that he can recover. Once he is feeling better after a few days, he tells you that you must go
Okay, so we've taken him to Thandalin, and so he's recovered.
to Cragmaw Castle.
Crag-
Gundren is being held there. King Groll is the master of the castle, and Sildar believes he is behind all of this mess. He gives you directions to get there, but there are two paths you could take. You could take the roads, but Sildar warns it will probably have King Groll's bugbears patrolling it. Or you could cut through the forests, but who knows what manner of creatures
I think we're
you
going through
might
the
find
forest,
there.
but I need
The
more
choice
coffee.
is yours.
All right, I'll be right back. All right, has my coffee. All right, let's continue. And I think we're gonna take the forest. I don't want to deal with more bugbears. There could be stuff in the forest, but theoretically, if we're taking our time and we're sneaking and we're being cautious, unless there's just really bad rolls, we should be able to avoid anything too serious in the forests.
They decide to cut through the forest, hoping to avoid bugbears and alerting King Groll, and begin making their way toward Castle Cragmaw by the directions given to them by Sildar. However, on the second day, they hear a
However,
strange sound coming from deeper in the woods,
uh-oh,
and Minas says, "It's an owlbear."
uh-oh.
Sorensen's eyes widen, as much as a puppet's eyes can widen anyway, and he says, "We should try to go around it." But Minas is shaking his head no. If we can hear it, it can
It can hear
certainly
us.
smell us. We are
Yeah.
too late. And then, as if on cue, a huge owlbear comes crashing from the thicket and starts
Uh-oh.
charging them.
Dude,
This
that
isn't
owlbear
good.
is
Owlbears
epic.
are ferocious creatures and formidable foes. Make your decision on what you want to do next, now.
Oh, we need to run. Yeah, run. You can't take an owlbear at level 1. Run.
They turn and begin running as fast as their little puppet legs would carry them through the forest. But
Breaking
the
that third
owlbear
wall.
is right behind
No!
and gaining on them. He
No!
can run much faster than
No!
they can, and his endurance is definitely going to hold out longer. Hurry! You must think quick. Just then, you realize you're running right for the edge of a cliff. You are nimble enough perhaps you could dive out of the way, just in time to send the owlbear over the edge. They charge forward, and right when they get to the cliffside, they dart to both sides. And as the owlbear approaches, he realizes what you have done and tries to stop, but his momentum carries him forward, and the owlbear goes flying off the cliffside, plummeting down below to his death. You have defeated the owlbear. Everyone catches their breath, and then they continue onward. It doesn't take long, and they reach Castle Cragmaw. It looms before them, dark and disturbing. You know that Gundren should be inside, but so will be King Groll. They cautiously go in. But as soon as they enter, there is a large rumbling sound.
Uh-oh.
Quick, I need you to roll for dexterity.
What? Okay, hold on. So what is this? Roll 1 dexterity check, roll 2 dexterity check. Um, what's the difference? Oh, more owlbears. Well, that owlbear puppet was really cool. So real quick, because I know you're hanging out in chat, Nathan. What's the difference between roll 1 dexterity check, roll 2 dexterity check? Are you having us roll? There's 2 separate rolls here, I'm assuming. Okay, it's just different rolls, so you're just picking a good roll and a bad roll, I'm assuming. um, I'm gonna. You know what? I don't have dice in front of me. I was gonna roll to see which one I choose. Okay. Okay, yeah, one is good, one is bad. Okay, I'm just gonna roll number 2. Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad.
They dodge out of the way just in time as the entire ceiling crashes down into the room. Great roll, by the way.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
around and see that there is
19,
a winding
bitch.
path going to the left or one to the right. Which way you wish to go is completely up to you. But
Okay.
whatever you do, just make your decision now.
Oh, without. How do I. Okay, yeah, well, in a perfect world, I would scout out and figure out. Um, let's go right. I just. Well, it's just gonna go right. We're gonna see. Hope I didn't just jinx it.
As they enter this room, they see an exceptionally ugly goblin. And I mean ugly, even for a goblin. And he is a very large goblin, holding a wooden spoon. He sees you
He's the
and
cook?
poises for attack, saying, "Me, Yag, cook for King Groll. You intruders, you die!" And then he's attacking you. So what should you do?
Oh, hold on. Okay. Cleric, call him a fatty so we can insult him. Okay, so hang on. Paladin can trip him. The wizard can cast invisibility on the rogue for a sneak attack, or the cleric can call him a fatty. I feel like we need to choose that option just because it's here. Like you have the option to insult him, which theoretically would be rolling a like not an intimidate roll, but some sort of a roll, a conversation roll, which could theoretically avoid combat. Theoretically, it could just piss him off even worse, and he could kill the paladin or kill the cleric. I could have the paladin trip him. That's going to be a dexterity roll. Wizard cast ability on the rogue for a sneak attack. I feel like the safest option is going to be for the invisibility on the rogue. Oh man, this is a hard one. I'm going with cleric, call him a fatty. I just want to see what happens.
The cleric yells out an insult telling him he's a fatty, and Yeg says he has lost a lot of weight recently and that that's not very nice and you shouldn't call people a fatty. And then he gets enraged and he begins charging her. I don't know how dangerous this really is. I mean, he has wooden spoons, but he is charging. So what would you like to do next?
Thunderous Smite for sure. Draw attention away.
Sorensen charges in front of Winter and slashes Yeg with Thunderous Smite. He goes flying and hits a wall, snapping his neck. They eat some food he had prepared for King Grohl and then continue forward. They enter.
Whoa! Whoa! Look at that!
Tied up. Grohl tells you he has heard that you slayed Clarg, and he is impressed.
That is a nasty
Clarg was
looking
a warrior equal to himself. He says he knew you would come for him, but you are too late. The Black Spider is already at Wave Echo Cavern, figuring out the maze there, and in any moment he will find the Forge of Spells. And they will rule Neverwinter and all of the Sword Coast. King Grohl pulls up his axe and says,
"Now to prove I am worthy of my position."
And now the fight commences. Make your decision now.
Big boss fight. So put the Paladin Cleric on the front line, or put the Paladin in the front line with the Cleric and the Wizard to the back. And the rogue hide. Man, I feel like that is Well, we don't know what he's gonna do. I kind of feel like I should have the cleric and the paladin on the front line because he might be so powerful that just the paladin isn't enough to keep him on the front. I'm gonna say paladin and cleric hold him.
Sorensen and Winter clash into King Grohl. It takes both of them to push back against the might of Grohl. This leaves an opportunity for Minus to roll behind him and start slashing at his back. But King Grohl is powerful indeed, and he shoves both Sorensen and Winter forward and then spins, slashing out at Minus.
No!
As his axe is spinning in the air toward Minus, I need a dexterity check for the rogue.
No! I might lose my rogue. I'm gonna roll 1 this time and see what happens, just because I rolled 2 last time.
Minus tries to roll, but rolls right into the axe.
No.
He is killed.
No!
About that time, Drac notices the ceiling above Grohl looks unstable. One good fireball could take it out, and with some luck, might take out Grohl as well. What do you want to do? Give it a shot, or keep fighting? The choice is ultimately
I lost
up to
my
you.
rogue.
Make your decision now.
Lost my rogue. Cast fireball.
Drac casts at the ceiling, and as the fireball blasts, it cracks, and sure enough, the ceiling comes crashing down again. But this time, it falls on King Grohl, and he is destroyed before he even had the chance to show you his powerful axe arm. They untie Gundren, and he tells them that time is of the essence, and they must get to Wave Echo Cave, where the Black Spider has his map, and is probably already there. Gundren tells them that there was an awful maze, full of creatures and traps, but he hadn't gotten to explore it all the way through. He tells you that back when he had you and your group deliver the goods to Phandelver, it was supplies to help start the excavation, and that deep in the mine past the maze should lie the Forge of Spells. The Black Spider can't get his hands on it, or the entirety of the Sword Coast will suffer greatly. They leave the castle, and Gundren takes them deep into the forest to Wave Echo
Did we just leave Minus's body there?
A rocky incline and cast in shadows, a long forgotten cave with a dangerous secret inside. The only way in is down this treacherous looking rope, going into its depths. Roll for strength for the climb down.
Roll 1 screwed me last time. I'm gonna try roll 2 again.
As they descend down the rope, there is a ripping sound as
No!
the rope tears.
My
They
luck
fall
is
deep down
gone!
into the abyss, but the wizard drag casts Featherfall, and they land safely at the bottom.
Woof.
This must be the maze that Gundren had told them about. They can feel a surge of power and magic coming from deeper within. Taking a deep breath, they must decide which way to start this maze off with. There's a path going to the north and another passageway going to the east. Which way will you go? Make your decision now.
Well, I'm hoping, because theoretically, if we drag the body of Midas along, we could get him back, get him resurrected, but I'm not sure. Let's go east.
You hear the howls, roars, and growls of many creatures ahead. Adventurer, this maze will be filled with much danger. Not only will you need to find your way through this maze to get to the Forge of Spells, but you will have to fight your way through as well. This maze is set up like an old school dungeon crawler. Should you die in the maze, however, you will simply be sent back here at the beginning.
Gotcha.
Now, let's get to it. There is only another path going further east, so you must choose this option.
Alright, we're going east, and hopefully we don't die, because we'll get sent back to
As
the
they
beginning.
head carefully into the next room to the east. At first, it is very quiet, but then they hear a tremendous roar as a dire rat charges towards them. He is ferociously mad and begins slashing out at you, but you are all able to dodge his attacks. Now, what will you do next? Make your decision now.
I totally forgot, by the way, I should be liking the videos as I go through and watch them. I totally spaced that out. Use magic and stay defensive.
They stay out of range of the dire rat and blast him with spell slinging every chance they get until finally the dire rat is defeated. Looking
Sweet.
ahead, there are two options to pick from now. A path going to the north and another going to the east. You must make your decision which way to go now.
I'm gonna keep heading east. I feel like that's a somewhat safer bet for
As
now.
you step to the east into a tight passageway, a ghoul is awaiting you in the darkness.
Ghouls are
stepping
not
toward
good for
you,
level 1.
Insatiable hunger for your flesh, ready for an unquenchable hunger to devour your party. His elongated fingers and claws reaching forward, his tongue lashing about with saliva running down, pooling in a trail behind him as he stumbles toward you. Quick, don't let the ghoul make corpses of your group. What will you do?
Yeah, we need to... Yeah, this is... Oh, man. I feel like a ghoul might be too rough for us at level 1, but I don't know, can you really get around the ghoul? I'm gonna try it.
They attempt to dart around the ghoul, but he grabs them with his claws, pulling at them.
No!
The passageway is too tight, and the ghoul has the opportunity
No!
to eat them all in a disgusting, mangled twist of flesh and bone.
No!
Their screams echo out throughout the maze.
No!
But do not fret. The magic of this place teleports you all back to the entrance of the maze, as if none of this happened. Back at the beginning, make your decision. What would you like to go? North or east?
I'm gonna keep going east, because I know I have a chance to actually
You
take
hear
this
the
guy out.
howls,
Maybe.
roars, and growls of many creatures ahead. Adventurer, this maze will be filled with much danger. Not only will you need to find your way through this maze to get to the Forge of Spells, but you will have to fight your way through as well.
Gotcha.
This maze is set up like an old school dungeon crawler. Should you die in the maze, however, you will simply be sent back here at the beginning. Now, let's get to it. There is only another path going further east, so you must choose this option.
Yes.
As they head carefully into the next room to the east. At first, it is very quiet, but then they hear a tremendous
Okay, so there's the
roar
dire rat.
as a dire rat charges towards them. He is ferociously mad and begins slashing out at you, but you are all able to dodge his attacks. Now, what will you do next? Make your decision now.
So defensively that helped us survive last time. So we're gonna do that.
They stay out of range of the dire rat and blast him with spell slinging every chance they get until finally the dire rat is defeated. Looking ahead, there are two options to pick from now. A path going to the north and another going to the east. You must make your decision which way to go now.
We're gonna go east again. We're gonna see if we can't get that ghoul this time.
As you step to the east into a tight passageway, a ghoul is awaiting you in the darkness, stepping toward you with insatiable hunger for your flesh, ready for an unquenchable hunger to devour your party. His elongated fingers and claws reaching forward, his tongue lashing about with saliva running down, pooling in a trail behind him as he stumbles toward you. Quick, don't let the ghoul make corpses of your group. What will you do?
Holy smite. Let's see if that's enough to do it.
The paladin charges forward and smites the ghoul to its death. Paladins are very effective against the undead, and this was no issue at all for Sorensen. The ghoul lets out a shriek as it falls to the cavern floor in a tangled heap. The path beyond the dead ghoul only goes further to the east, so you must travel in that direction.
Okay.
There are small stalactites sticking to the ceiling, dripping with the moisture of this room. The path is quite low, and everyone is crouched over, but you can see that it looks as if the cave opens back up in both directions, to the south, or you could go further to the east. Which way you go is completely up to you.
I like
so
my
make your
further
decision
east
now.
so far. We just keep going east. Keep it simple for now, and then if we get screwed up and lost, it's easy
As
to
they
get
travel
back.
to the east, they see a beautiful rock formation and stop to look at it for a moment. They can't decide if it's natural or was it carved and eroded from all the years this place has remained undisturbed. In any case, the only path forward is to continue going east. So when you are ready, and don't take too long, continue going east.
Why shouldn't I take too long? What's here? What can happen? Sounds like something dangerous.
There's a path going down some stairs to the south, or you can keep going east. No matter which option you pick, please don't forget your steps so you can retrace them should you get lost, or more lost than you are now. Or are you lost? You're so lost you aren't even sure anymore if you're even lost at all. It's so hard to tell. Anyway, choose your path.
I'm gonna keep going east. That makes it easy for me to retrace my steps.
As you travel east, the room opens up with a dome overhead. Some strange cavern plant life are growing here. And then out of the ground slithers a grick. Its tentacles are flickering about, and its beak open wide for attack. One of the tentacles grabs at a pillar in the room and begins tugging on it. Some debris is falling now from the ceiling as the grick disturbs the integrity of this area of the maze. Quick, what should you do?
I don't even know what a grick is. Not familiar with grick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if it's gonna pull the cavern down if we let it. Let's slash at the tentacle.
With a mighty strike at the tentacle, it recoils and the grick flees back into its hole from which it came. They can hear it digging and tunneling beneath them, but the danger has passed. There is a path continuing to the east, or you can choose to pick another route going to the south. Which way would you like to go? And be careful that you don't get lost. Make your decision now. You come across a door harshly built into the northern wall of this room, with a skull above it. You try to open the door, but it is locked. There is also a passage going to the east. You wonder what is behind the door, but you aren't sure how you would go about finding the key in this twisted maze.
And we don't have a rogue.
Should you just keep going east? Make your decision now.
And we don't have a rogue. Inspect the skull. That could be a trap. But see, we don't have a rogue. And he would have been able to maybe pick the lock. Let's inspect the skull.
You take a closer look at the skull, and when you open its mouth, you find a key inside.
Booyah.
Excitement rushes through your body, and you try the key on the door. You find a familiar sound of the lock releasing, and the door opens. You feel a draft coming from the other side. This must be the way. Hurry, go north through the door. As they step forth into the darkness and their eyes adjust, they are shocked. to see a spectator before them.
No!
Its eyes on tentacles looking about. Spectators are typically guardians of some great treasure. Could they be this close to the Forge of Spells? Had they made it at last, and the only thing standing before them is this gruesome foe?
Yeah,
then,
this
in their
is...
minds, they hear the spectator speak to them.
You shall not set forth beyond me. Turn, go back from whence you came.
They know this is not an option, and Sorensen shouts out, "We have defeated your master's maze, now let us through." The spectator leaves their minds blank and does not respond. Instead, it shoots eye rays at your party.
Yes.
They dodge, but are still slightly struck by it. Adventurers, it's your DM here. Listen, this is a special fight, much different than those before. Instead of only picking options, in this fight, you will notice a red bar and a blue bar.
Ooh.
After each decision, you will attack, and then the spectator will attack. The blue bar is your hit points, the red bar is the spectator's. Now, make your decision on what you wish to do, quickly.
Okay, this is really cool. FYI, if you're still here, Nathan, if you're not, I'll have to tell you this later. This design is really cool, to where we're gonna have multiple fights to go through, and we have hit points versus the monster versus hit points with us. That's a really cool way to do this, dude. Yeah, kudos, man. This is really cool. Oh, hang on, I waited too long. Forgot to pause it. Man, it's not undead. I feel like we should do. I mean, these things usually have a high magical resistance. Okay. We're gonna go for Paladin Smite. Three damage, but then it's gonna get an attack on us. Spectator bites at you. Chomp. 2 damage. Okay. Fireball, baby. You can never go wrong with Fireball. Only 4 damage. Ah, that's a weak Fireball. No! Cast Wounding Ray. Oh, that's not going to be good. 10 damage. Oh, we're toast.
You
Oh!
return back to the entrance of the maze. You have lost your encounter with
No!
the spectator.
No!
Now, which way would you like to go? North or east?
I'm going east again. I got to get back to the door.
You hear the howls, roars, and
All
growls.
right, so I'm going to
of many
skip this real
creatures
quick. I'm just going to go to the end because I've already been through all of this, so I kind of
as
know
they
what to
head
do.
carefully into.
And I want to get back to the same spot because I just
They
kept
stay out
heading
of range.
east. Go further east. And then we did the Holy Smite. Okay, go east.
There are small stalactites.
We went east again. This is the nice thing. I kept going east, so should be okay.
There's a path.
Go east.
As
Slash at the tentacle.
with a mighty strike,
Go east.
you come across a door.
Okay. Inspect the skull.
You take a closer look at the.
Okay. Go north through the door.
As they step forth into.
Okay. I did Paladin Smite last time. Either way, I think. I'm going to try the... Ah! Go back. I'm going to try the Sword Burst and see what happens. That's nice. Bites us. Okay. Let's do a Paladin crit hit. See if we get anything out of this. Okay. No, that wounding rate has 10 points of damage. That one did 17. Holy shit.
You will return back to the entrance of the maze.
All right, go east.
You
Damn
hear the
beholder.
howl
Beholders are way too, or spectators. These are way too
as they head
difficult.
carefully.
Magic stay defensive.
They stay out of
Further east.
As-
Paladin Holy Smite.
the palace.
Go east. Go east. Go east.
There's a path going down some.
Go east. Slash of the tentacle.
With a mighty.
Go east.
You come across a door harshly built into the northern wall.
Alright. Inspect the skull.
You take a closer look at the.
Go north through the door.
As they step forth into the.
Alright. Sword burst worked pretty good. So you know the crit hit, he got us for 17, so I'm going to go with the lightning bolt option and see if this is any better. Oh, yeah! Continue forward. Maze defeated. Oh, I need my notebook. Ah, drop my pen.
They step out of the maze and into an open room. What they see shocks them to their core. The Forge of Spells is spewing forth energy in absolutely astonishing sparks of color and power. The magic is in the air so heavy they can feel it as if it is a tangible thing pressing against them. There's a drow there, and he is casting some foul magic on the forge. This must be the black spider you have heard so much about. He quits casting and turns to face you. Ah, he says, the adventurers that will not quit poking in my affairs. Sorensen steps forward. We've defeated all your underlings. Be gone. This forge belongs to the good people of Phandelver. Nesnar is laughing. Oh, how predictable of a paladin. Things could have been so different. You fools think this is just some forge to use for making armor and weapons? Nay. This is a dimensional rift into the plane of water. The
What?
power that surges from it was used by dwarves in ages past for such trivial means. But I, Nesnar, will use it for its true purpose. It's an ocean without a surface. It is a domain of currents and waves. It is a bottomless depth. And the creatures from within. The material plane has never seen such power. Drax steps forward. Nesnar or Black Spider, no mere mortal can control such power. The dwarves use this for material purposes. Going beyond that is mere madness. Nesnar thinks on this for a moment. I have spent my entire life looking for this forge. Dedicated every second to get where I stand now. I couldn't possibly fight you all in a fair fight, not based on what I've heard you have already done. I have made pacts with a dragon. I have killed innocents, and now the forge is allowing me to sap it of its power, and some ragtag group of nobodies now stands in my way. I didn't expect you to find your way through the maze. Perhaps it is fate. He stops as if filling out those words, and then he puts his arms forward, and the energy from the forge surges, and the cavern begins to shake from the power. Winter shouts out, "Stop, Nesnar! The entire cave is going to collapse!" The events that transpire in this epic battle with Nesnar felt like an eternity for the adventurers. How you decide to proceed is your choice. Nesnar is using the power of the Forge of Spells to pull the very fabric of the material plane down on you. What will you do? Before you make your decision, know that from this point forward, there is no wrong choice, only different outcomes. Now, for the final few times, make your decision now.
Attack Nesnar. Ooh, this is a 7-minute video coming up.
They rush forward to attack Nesnar. He raises his arm and they go flying back in a flurry of power, surging from the forge. It is useless. For every second that passes, I grow more powerful, Nesnar says, but keep throwing yourselves at me if you wish. They get up and charge in again, Drac casting spells as fast as he can. They are just exploding into the air, useless. As Sorensen, Winter, and Sildar approach close to Nesnar, they are thrown back again. This time it breaks their legs, but they can't give up. They continue forward, limping and in excruciating pain. Nesnar raises his arm again and power surges towards them, tossing them back once again. Their life forces are fading when Winter notices that the power he is using is all coming from the forge.
Destroy the
We
forge.
must destroy the forge.
Absolutely,
She begins healing them. As they head toward the surging forge, Drax sees what they are doing and runs toward Nesnar, knowing what will happen, but hoping to buy time. He throws himself at Nesnar. The black spider Nesnar raises his hand to cast. Meanwhile, Sorensen, Winter, and Sildar are beating at the forge, and with each hit, there's an explosion of power. The forge is screeching as if it is alive. About this time, Nesnar shoves energy into Drac. This tosses him across the room and snaps his neck. The plan bought your party enough time, and with one final hit, the forge explodes. The energy bursts forth in such massive force that even from outside of the cavern, the area explodes from the earth. A tremor can be felt all the way in Neverwinter. With their sacrifice, the adventurers have defeated the Black Spider and undone his destructive plots. However, the mine of Wave Echo Cave and the legendary Forge of Spells was destroyed. In the years to come, many came to the site, but none knew of the events that took place here. None except Gundren. Gundren Rockseeker left the area entirely, looking for new adventures. Some say he found it, but I cannot speak on such matters, as those pages of the history of the Sword Coast have yet to be written. I heard a bard in a random inn drunk on ale one time say, "You shall remember this victory forever, even if no one else does." You have found a conclusion to the Lost Mine of Phandelver campaign, and I thank you for playing, and I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Please remember there are many endings, many paths, many branches to get to many different branches to more and more and more adventure. And of course, I would love to make a brand new campaign very soon. With your help, please share the original video of this series on forums, in Discords, with your family and friends to make this a success and to make a future for these campaigns. And to make the next one even bigger, even more awesome, I will need your help in promoting this one. Thank you for playing.
Okay, so that was pretty awesome. For my first run through, of course. Now I got to go through and do different things and and make different decisions. For those of you who are following along, it is out on Twitter. I've shared it on Facebook. It's out on Discord as well. That was a pretty fun way to spend my morning and go through 2 cups of coffee. I cannot wait now to go through. I lost my rogue, but I will say this: my brother lost his wizard last night, so we took completely separate paths. And I didn't even see any of because you said there were side quests in the town, which I never even saw any of those. So I'm gonna have to replay that and see about getting some of the side quests and stuff. That was pretty awesome. Well, I'm really happy that you hung out, Nathan, while I played through this. Secret Dungeon 2, man, see, now I definitely got to go back and play through it multiple times because I need to see all the options now. That's so cool. I'm just kind of sitting here like, kudos, man. Good job. That was that was spot on. Especially the early moments when we got the goblins by surprise, and he stabs that one goblin in the back, and he goes off the cliff. Oh man. Well done. Well done, Nathan Napalm. Thank you very much, sir. That was amazing. Alright, well, everybody following along, don't forget to check out Nathan's YouTube channel for this. You can also catch stuff over on Twitter and the like, but it's youtube.com/TheNathanNapalm. Check this video series out. I'll be playing it again at some point, probably tomorrow. I need to talk to my brother, though, and see... Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. I gotta check in with my brother now and see where he's at because I told him this morning because he started late last night and said that he was going through, but I don't know if he probably went to bed. He sent me another message this morning with some feedback, which I'll send to you on Discord, Nathan. Um, but he took a completely different path because he had his wizard die, and there I didn't see this. Like, there's another fight with like an owl bear or a wolf or something. Well, I've done enough maces in my time to know that you just if you have the option to just go one way, go that way until you hit a roadblock, and then um, you can go from there. Ooh, there's a dead body in the wagon. Well, I know what I'm gonna do next time. I'm gonna have to inspect that wagon. I'm just sitting here now. I'm thoroughly enthralled by watching all this puppet stuff in the post credits. Oh, that was so cool. All right, everybody. Don't forget to go check this out. Nathan, I'm going to send you a Discord message real quick as I wind up here. So check that here in a little bit when you get some time. Some more feedback from my brother. Everybody check this out. I'll probably stream another session sometime later this week and take different choices and see what we come up with. But in the meantime, I'm going to head out. I actually need to go. I need to go for a run today. My nose is healed enough that I should be able to go out and have a jog. Thanks for following along, folks. Don't forget you can join our Discord. Links are here on the page somewhere. Check out the YouTube. And I may even do an actual review of this series once I've done a couple playthroughs. So stick around for that. Thanks for following. Oh, that was Nathan. Thank you, sir, for the follow. I'll do an overview review at some point, too, later this week. Get that up on YouTube as well. All right, thanks for tuning in, Nathan. Thanks for everybody else watching along. If you're watching this post, don't forget to check everything out over on his YouTube channel, and I will see everybody tomorrow morning as I continue my Twitch challenge. I think today, what was today? Today was day 25 of 30 days. I'll be back again tomorrow, probably playing Final Fantasy 14 again because I haven't played a few days because I got sidetracked with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which is so awesome. It's so awesome. I got to my camp last night and they made me Knight Commander. I got Mythic Hero last night. Um, I can't wait to keep playing that game. But I do need to get back to Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow because I got to try to get through the end of the Crystal Caverns and get to Heaven's Ward. So, see everybody tomorrow morning. Peace.